Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Um, okay, so just so you guys know, just a little heads up before I come in and say hello to all of you guys and stuff like that. There was a live stream scheduled for tonight at 8. It's a fundraiser where we were going to talk about Suzanne's case. I had several guests that were going to come on. That is still going to happen, but I really want Jen Lou to be a part of that, and she wants to be a part of it. She doesn't know much about the case, but she's about to dive deep into it. So I want to give her a little time. Plus, I saw Teresa had an interview with someone at the same time, so I thought it would just be best to reschedule. Well, then I decided, well, I'm going to go live because I have so much to say. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Suzanne being found, my journey covering the case, all kinds of things that have been coming back to me. Last night I was on Amber's channel, ATS News, with her and Melissa Jade, and we had a really great conversation, and it just brought me back. There's so much to this case, and we're going to go through some, and I can't wait for you guys to see whether you followed from the beginning or you're just diving in now. I think there's some things that you're going to be pretty surprised to see. But let me say hello to you guys. I have missed you. Hey, Mary Jane Doe, Aries. Hey, Glowbug. Oh, hey, Nadie, my beautiful Nay. Hey, B Crumbs, Carol Clark. Hey, Super Dark Angel. Kate, your true crime crew. Hey, Mama Bear. Let's see. Hey, Stephanie. Good to see you. Lady Bird. Hello. Hey, Tony. Pointer Lover. Hey, Boo Sheet. Good to see you guys. I've missed you. These kids have had me busy. Hey, Melissa. The last couple of days, we've had several dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, football games, all the things. So I've wanted to talk about this since it's happened, but I really haven't had the opportunity. So I'm so excited. We're going to hang out for a couple hours. We're going to go through a lot of stuff, and it's just going to be laid back and chill. And yeah, I've missed you guys. So, hey, Dreamer. Okay. Hey, Thrive for Shanann. Beautiful. Good to see you. Thrive for Shanann has been here for years. So that's what I'll start with. You guys, Suzanne's case is the first case I ever made a video on. And the videos are so embarrassing, but I'm going to show you just because, this is where my journey into the true crime world started. It was actually the crazy thing about this is it was 3 years ago to the day after it was announced that she was found. So September 28th, 2 days ago, was 3 years to the day of my very first video. And they were on Suzanne. So I'm going to show you guys those, and then we're going to get into everything that's happened. His statements, we're going to look at a lot of the evidence against him. Some I even had forgotten about until today. So yes. Let me see. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to pull up my TikTok because this is where I started. Hey, Angie. Good to see you. So Suzanne went missing on Mother's Day of 2020. And I put out my first video on it on September 28th of 2020. So let me keep scrolling. Heidi Broussard, this was one of my first videos. Oh, wow. This was my third video. Like a couple of my videos blew up really quickly. As you can see, this 40,000, 197,000 to Chris Watts ones. TikTok is just it's a different platform, a different experience, that kind of thing. Hey, Roxanne. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is embarrassing. Don't judge me. I know the quality's bad. I know I'm so nervous. Also, my teeth have been fixed a little bit since this. I noticed that as well. But it doesn't matter. Let me show you guys. Okay. It's going to take my monetization, but that's okay. From the stream because of the music, but that'll be Meet Suzanne Morphew. She is a 49-year-old wife and mother who was reported missing on Mother's Day this year from Chaffee County, Colorado. That's her husband, Barry. This is Suzanne's brother, Andy. Over the past few days, he has been searching tirelessly in the mountains in Colorado for his sister. The Daily Mail just came out with an article saying the dogs have hit something and the FBI is now going to dig up the scene. It just happens to be on her husband Barry's land. Let's hope they can bring Suzanne home to her daughters and they can finally tell their mom Happy Mother's Day. Okay, so at this time, so weird and cringy to watch, but we all start somewhere. Anybody who wants to start a channel and you're nervous or whatever, do it. I was thinking before this, like, some people are not comfortable even by themselves on a panel. I've gotten to the point where I'm probably more comfortable by myself, even though I'm also comfortable with my friends up here as well. But it takes time. You get used to it. So please, if you want to start a channel, definitely do it, you guys. Also, Nancy asked about her proof of life. Hi, Nancy, by the way. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Unravel. Nancy asked, is there any proof that she was actually alive on Saturday? And we're going to go through some of that. I can't wait to show you guys all the things I've gathered. But I just wanted to start here because it's such a special and interesting part of this whole story. Hey, Kelsey. Kelsey, what? Good to see you. Okay. So here's the second video I put out the same day. 49-year-old Suzanne Morphew has been missing since Mother's Day. This is a picture of her and her husband, Barry. There were some reports that came out not long ago that said the hotel where Barry was staying smelled heavily like chlorine. Also, Andy, Suzanne's brother, said that the officers said that their home also smelled like bleach. Here is a screenshot I took from an article from the New York Post. I have a question directly for Barry. What were you cleaning up? Oh my God, what a mess I was, y'all. Okay, so that is where, like I said, my whole true crime journey started. And, Barry, there was a quite a long court process that played out, right? He was arrested. He had the preliminary hearing. There was tons of evidence that came out between that and the arrest affidavit. Then, we have these issues with the DA. He's released, and many people thought she may never be found. And I am so thankful that she was. I cannot even describe to you the feeling when she was, because it was like I was shaking on the inside for hours. I mean, I cannot imagine how her loved ones must feel, because we get so close and connected to these cases, Okay, let's see. Happy Saturday, J.E. Rainbow Mom says, I've been on panel and I was very nervous. Well, keep doing it. I recommend keep doing it because it gets easier. You gave me confidence to start my own channel. Oh, thrive for Shanann. I love that so much, and I'm so glad you did it. You're doing great, though. I love to see those old videos of Shanann and stuff. Hey, T. Baby Allie, I know. Weird. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. Of course, I don't know it, but for some reason, I don't believe he did it. Unravel, wait till now. We're going to go through some pretty interesting evidence today that I had even forgotten about. Like in my title, I mentioned the claw marks. He had, wait till they share. I've got pictures like from the evidence from his preliminary hearing, and we're going to look at them and wait till you see this. Just on, I live in Colorado, and our local news said Barry was in Mexico when Suzanne's remains were found. I've heard that in a couple of places. However, I didn't know if that was the truth, but that's interesting. It came from the news. Okay, so there's Barry and Suzanne. They've been together since they went to high school together, you guys. They have quite the story. So as soon as it was released that Suzanne was found, there was a short statement released from Barry that says, an attorney for him, and I'm believing it was Iris Eaton, because I know she released the second statement, but I'm not positive of that. But it says Barry is with his daughter daughters, and they are all struggling with immense shock and grief after learning today that their mother and wife, whom they deeply love, was found deceased. They had faith that their wife and mom would walk back into their lives again. The news is heartbreaking. Neither the DA nor the authorities notified Mallory and Macy Morphew about the recovery of their mom. From what we know, Barry is as innocent as he was from day one. DA Stanley and law enforcement got it wrong. We hope the authorities will quickly admit their wrongful persecution of Barry, an innocent man, to treat the Morphews like the victims they are, and charge the persons responsible for Suzanne's killing. The Morphews would appreciate their privacy during this deeply emotional and personal time. Then, this is so interesting, a local reporter who I've followed for years with this case, Mark Salinger, I believe he's semi-local. I think he's in Colorado at the very least. So he says, he posted that Suzanne was found. Then he shares a tweet that says, I called Barry Morphew's attorney minutes after the press release was sent out, notifying the public that Suzanne's remains were found. His lawyer had not been told the news. I told her on the phone. Don't know if Barry was told the news about his wife before the press release. We do know they said they notified Barry. That would be her next of kin. Okay. Then we get a bigger statement. Okay. And this is by Eaton Law Firm. So Barry has very good attorneys. Just let me say that right now. Hey, crazy mama. Just one more thing. Her other boyfriend was ruled out. Hey, MB gal. Okay, did they rule out her boyfriend? Colorado and Idaho now seems just so shady. I've been wanting to go there because it looks so beautiful, but dang, them places I don't trust anymore. I agree. Colorado is beautiful. By the way, this background is a sunset in Salado where they were from. Let me remove me in the thing for a second. Okay, so the statement released on Thursday by Eaton Law Firm on behalf of Barry. The first and most important focus should be that the Morphews just learned that they lost their beautiful mother and wife after she disappeared 3.5 years ago. What appears to be the overriding focus is a finger pointing right back where it started 3.5 years ago, a movement to blindly reaccuse Barry for Suzanne's death. Here are the facts. According to authorities, Suzanne Morphew was not found anywhere in the vicinity of her home, the town nearby, or the county she lived in. She was found in Moffett, Colorado. Moffett is in Maysville. Or near the home, and possible to being in a mine or tundra and buried under 6 feet of snow. Detected, surveilled individual minute by minute, hour using law enforcement cameras posted by his home, phone taps, and GPS placed on his car, all during the time frame of her disappearance and the years of her following. I don't think that was the end, but for some reason that was the last one I sent myself. So we get the idea, right? His attorneys are immediately, look, the DA that was in charge of his case, there is a lot of controversy surrounding her. That is true. They also said she was under all this snow and they couldn't get to her. And I mean, summer has passed since then, right? So let me show you this, and then we're going to get into the very interesting stuff. Thank you guys for being here. I am so excited to, I know this is, don't get me wrong, it's dark, it's sad. I'm thrilled she was found. I'm so sad that she's no longer with us, right? But I hope that this will lead to justice. But it's a case that has been part of my heart and soul for all these years, and to be able to talk about it with you guys, I'm just so thankful for that. So thank you guys for being here. Hey, sexy wild thing, Carol freaking Claus. Uh-oh. Hold on, I got something on my computer. There we go. Okay. I used to think it's due to a lack of oxygen in Colorado that so many lose their minds enough to kill. I doubt it, but it's sure weird. I heard that's very interesting. There is at least some circumstantial evidence, but I think it's not enough until autopsy is out. We're going to go through some of it today. Hey, Scout Inquirer. And be prepared. I mean, a little bit of a trigger warning because some of this is very tough to see. Hey, Kathy, I'm late but happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. Good Grandma says, so glad you are covering Suzanne. I also started my interest in YouTube spring of 2020. Well, I'm glad that you're here and we can do it together. Ooh, I'm cutting in and out. Hold on just a second, you guys. Okay, I hope that that fixed it. You guys let me know. Sometimes that will happen and I have to like leave out and come directly back in. Also, I messaged my little ones to get off the internet. um, Let me know. Hey, Melissa Jade. No, okay. So I messaged in that group. We're still going to do that, but we're not going to do it tonight because Jen Lu wants to be part of it. And I want her to be part of it with us. She wants to cover Barry's case and the court process he's been through and all of that, but she's not up to speed. So I thought I was just going to come on and just talk about the case some with you guys, and then we'll do the group panel like together with everyone's thoughts. With the fundraiser and stuff still. That is still going to happen. And also, I saw that Teresa had a live tonight at the same time with a special guest. So I didn't want to do it right at that same time. Hey, Foxy. She was in snow. She may have been preserved. Okay, so hey, Candace. Suzanne Morphew's body found. Remains located miles from the missing mom's family home 3 years after vanished. So this is just a map where Barry was working, where her body was found, where she was last seen, and where she lived. I just grabbed that off Twitter before this. Now, we're about to get into some of the evidence against Barry. This was a photograph that was part of the People's Exhibit that was during his preliminary hearing. He had claw marks on his arm. And to me, that looks just like a hand. I'm so curious what you guys think. I don't know, of course, it's just circumstantial or whatever, but Henry Sawson, what's the general consensus here? Did Barry do it? Well, hold your opinion till I show you some of this evidence. And we went through a ton last night. I know that Melissa Jade, Amber, Criminality, all of those channels, Crime Curious, and Bendy's going to jump onto it, have been covering this. You definitely don't want to miss any of their coverage because there is so much to this case. Yeah, those don't look like claw marks. To me, it looks like fingers, like scratches. Like the pointer finger and the middle finger, possibly maybe a pinky. And that is also part of the prosecution's narrative, brush scratches. It could be from like a briar. See, but usually, like from my experience with briars, it would be a thinner, just slightly thinner line and look a little different. And just the spacing between is quite interesting. Hey, Be Real. Okay, so let's go through some more. I know you are, Butterfly Kisses. I am so proud of you. Candace says, looks like a hand wrapped around his arm. Melissa sure does. Okay, let me show you guys some more. Yeah, I cannot wait to discuss it with everybody. But once I decided that I wanted to push back the fundraiser, I knew that I wanted to go live and hang out with you guys today. And I wanted to talk about some of this stuff. So next we're going to look at some of the evidence against him. There's There's 2 articles I'm going to pull up that we're going to just kind of go through. And I've got so much here. We could literally sit here for hours. I hope to do the affidavit with Melissa and Amber. I think that will be really interesting. Okay, so evidence in the Suzanne Morphew case. I think this was the main article I wanted to read to you guys. Yeah, I think so. Okay. They are fingernails, digging, and scratches. I read somewhere that he was found reading The Cat's Revenge. Well, I was talking to the girls last night about this. You know, she goes missing on a bike ride, and the spy pen, he recorded himself listening to forensic files about a woman who goes missing on a bike ride. There's so many interesting little things like that. So, excuse me. Let me take a drink and I'm going to read to you guys for a minute. Oh, I got some pumpkin spice cold brew with pumpkin whipped cream on top. It is so yummy. The remains of missing Colorado mother Suzanne Morphew have been found more than 3 years after she was last seen on May 10th of 2020. According to the agency, the remains were located during the course of a search on September 22nd, and those remains were positively identified as that of Morphew of Chaffee County by the El Paso County coroner. So on April 19th of 2022, just 9 days before the trial was supposed to start for Barry Morphew, okay, hold on just a second, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry, you guys. But Bentley is napping, so don't go wake him up. Okay. So 9 days before he was set to stand trial, Judge Ramsey Lama granted the DA's motion to dismiss the charges against him without prejudice, meaning the prosecution can refile charges in the future. Morphew, alongside his daughters, walked out of the Fremont County Courthouse a free man after all charges against him were dismissed. A 25-year marriage. Suzanne and Barry Morphew grew up in the same hometown of Alexandria, Indiana, and they met in high school. Suzanne was popular and well-liked. Barry was a star baseball player who was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. The couple, who began dating after Barry graduated high school, married in 1994. Barry started a landscaping business, and Suzanne was a school teacher before leaving the job to raise their 2 daughters, Mallory and Macy. Suzanne and her daughters. Oh, is AK in here? Oh my gosh. Let me see. Aw. Please feel free to utilize the data on our timeline you may find out. Oh, thank you so much, AK. Actually, I was watching some of the replay of your stuff from last night. Can one of the mods drop his channel? AK has devoted years to finding Suzanne. Actually, I really would like to talk to you privately, actually. Maybe I can, is your email on your channel or anything? Because, yeah, I've got some questions. And thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. This case, like I said, it's been part of my heart and soul for years. It is the first case I ever made a video on. And it's just really special to me. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you, AK, for everything you've put into it. I appreciate that so much. So, okay, according to friends, the Morphews moved from Indiana to a home just outside of Salida, Colorado, to be closer to their older daughter, Mallory, pictured right, who was attending college nearby. But there were also rumors that the move was an attempt at a fresh start for Suzanne and Barry's troubled marriage. Missing on Mother's Day. Early in the morning on May 10th, Barry left his home just outside of Colorado to drive to a job site 150 miles away in Broomfield. The daughters were away on a camping trip and making their way home. They text their mother. She does not respond. So let me just pause here. The very interesting thing about this is the town where he was supposedly doing this job, they don't even permit work to be done on Sunday. You have to have this specific permit to work any day in the town, and you can't do it on Sunday. There's so much more, though, to the lies in his story and what there's so much. Yes, great job, AK, all the data you have. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Crazy Mama. AK's info on Suzanne's case is phenomenal. Bama budgets. I've been wanting to talk about it since she was found. I've just been so busy with the kids and stuff, and it's just really my first opportunity. But I'm so thankful. Thank you, AK. Yes, mods, please, and send it to me if you don't mind. Okay. Mallory informs her father they're unable to reach Suzanne. Barry eventually speaks to one of their neighbors and asks them to check on Suzanne and to see if her mountain bike is at the house. So he provides the story. Like Amber said last night, there are still news agencies that say this mom who went missing on a bike ride on Mother's Day, when in reality, who believes that she actually even went on a bike ride? He began driving home a few minutes past 6 p.m. So Barry drops off a shovel and some other tools for his coworkers at a hotel where he had booked rooms for them and himself. He begins driving home a few minutes past 6. Also, these coworkers did interviews at the time. I forgot all about this. That would be something really interesting to go over. Their interviews shed light on many things that are shady with Barry. Investigators wonder, stage scene. So here we have how her bike looked to investigators from the body cam footage on May 10th of 2020. Hey, MK. Oh, thank you, Crazy Mama. Thank you, beautiful. That bike and helmet was ditched, in my opinion. Hold on just a sec, you guys. I don't think she ever went on a bike ride. Melissa, I'm with you. I don't think so either. I think that's just part of his narrative. Okay, she definitely never went on a bike ride. This photo, taken from the police body cam, shows Suzanne Morphew's mountain bike after being discovered by sheriff's deputies on the side of a cliff off of a road near the family home. No clothing, blood, or evidence of a struggle were found near the bike, and Suzanne's helmet was discovered about 1 mile away off the side of Highway 50. Her sunglasses and hydration backpack were found inside her car, leading investigators to surmise the scene may have been staged and that Suzanne never really went for a bike ride that Mother's Day morning. Mountain bike recovered. Here's another photo from, People's Exhibit. This is People's Exhibit 93. Suzanne Morphew's bike, after investigators removed it from the cliff. Suzanne was relatively new at mountain biking. A few days after finding her bike, investigators recovered her helmet roughly a mile away. An extensive search effort. Now, like I told you guys last night, many people did interviews. We have the coworkers of Barry. We have Suzanne's brother who was out here putting together huge searches and stuff. We also have YouTubers who somewhat interfered, the DA going on a channel. I mean, the controversy surrounding Linda Stanley does concern me about Barry's lawsuit, because even though I believe, my opinion is that he knows what happened to Suzanne, I also believe there is some corruption and some shady shit happening with that DA, and she's no longer there. But still, I also do not agree with some of the things that were put out here on the internet for everybody at that time. But regardless, a scuba diver searches a local waterway. That's what that was. Local and state authorities, along with the FBI, CBI, and civilian volunteers, conducted a large search effort across vast and rugged terrain. Spy pen leads to shocking discovery. So this is People's Exhibit 67. 10 days after Suzanne was reported missing, investigators found this spy pen in a walk-in closet in the Morphew's master bedroom. They learned that Suzanne got the pen, which is voice activated and records conversations, hoping to catch her husband Barry in an affair. Instead, she inadvertently recorded conversations she had with her secret lover. It took 6 months for investigators to identify the man. It turned out he had a wife and 6 children in Michigan where he lived. He never came forward on his own after Suzanne vanished and took steps to hide their affair. But once agents came knocking, he did cooperate and provided access to his DNA, phone records, passwords, and all of that. And investigators verified his alibi and he was cleared. Met a mom. According to the black box of his car, he moved the car at 9:30 p.m. near the house. There is so much to go through with even just that, his movements and stuff. Just watch a 48 Hours episode, and it's reported unknown DNA was found in her car, matching a serial killer's DNA. Well, I believe that it was matching a sex offender's DNA, not a serial killer. And it's been years, and I've been into so many other cases in the meantime, so I could totally be wrong about some of this. And if I am, I'll definitely try to correct that, you guys. But, I don't know. Crazy mama, I mean, that's normal not to come forward, in my opinion. Well, when you have a wife and kids, Love affair provides clues. So this is the photo. Many people have been talking, oh, Suzanne, she's take a photo of her in a bikini or this or that. It wasn't necessarily like that. This is that photo that she sent to her boyfriend that Saturday afternoon before she vanished. So on May 9th, the day before Mother's Day, records show Suzanne and her lover messaged each other 59 times leading up to the moment investigators believe Barry Morphew murdered his wife. At one point, Suzanne messaged her lover this selfie, which investigators dubbed her last proof of life photo. Barry, who was out running errands, sent Suzanne a text at 2:26 telling her he was on his way home. With no response from Suzanne, Barry texted again, "Did you leave?" and again is met with silence. Investigators believe Barry returned home soon after, killed Suzanne, and cleaned up the crime scene. But if Barry knew nothing about Suzanne's affair, what motive would he have to kill her? One clue may be a deleted text that investigators found on Barry's phone. Now, this text was deleted, and I made a community post about this because like I said, since this happened, I have been dying to talk to you guys about it. But I haven't had a chance because these kids got me crazy busy all the time. So what are the chances that she goes missing just after sending Barry this text message and he deletes it? It's deleted. Surviving the storm. So good to see you. Love you too. I was worried about you. You were gone for a while. Happy to see you. Coffin Dapper sucks. Great name. The DNA was proven to be excluded. She was beautiful. Hey, Mystic. Oh, thank you, AK. I get shit wrong and whatever, and I'm not that professional. I'm just a mom I say this all the time. I'm just a mom from West Virginia who's into true crime. I'm not, police officer, lawyer, any of the things, but I do like it. I put my whole heart into it. I truly do. Like I care so much about these cases and about you guys, so thank you, Nay. Nay and I just talked about this recently. Thank you. I love you. Hey, Lynn. Okay, let's keep going. But all to say, I might get some things wrong here or there. So here is the deleted text. Let's see, I think they show it. Oh, man, it's in a different one that I have. But it says, they quote it here, quote, "I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly." Sign of a struggle. Now, this here, is interesting too. This is People's Exhibit 80. The door appeared as if it had been busted through, if somebody had broke through the door. Nay. Oh, you rock, Pepper. But what did he put in the different trash cans? That's another thing. I mean, you can't tell me it's just coincidence. His wife goes missing, and then he's going to all these different dumpsters, dumping whatever in different places, making sure that it's spread out. I mean, oh, thank you, Meta Mom. Thank you, Surviving the Storms. Appreciate you guys. Okay. Does anyone know how Barry responded to finding her body? So they did put out a statement. There's two statements that have been put out by his attorneys, a shorter one and then a longer one. And basically it's this: we are so sad that this has happened. However, why is everybody already pointing the finger? Blah, blah, very, I don't know. It gave me, I didn't like it. It gave me the ick. That's all I can explain it like. So this photo shows a dark vertical crack along the doorframe of the couple's master bedroom. Investigators showed Barry Morphew a photo of the damaged doorframe, explaining the prior owners said it wasn't there when they sold the house to the Morphews. Barry was asked if that was the result of an argument or him being locked out. He said, quote, "I have no idea what that's from," unquote. Investigators believe Barry may have damaged the door as he tried to get Suzanne after shooting her with the tranquilizer gun. So that is part of prosecution's narrative, their theory, because they found a piece of a dart in the dryer. Now, I forgot about the chipmunk alibi till last night. Cell phone records lead to chipmunk alibi. So they believe that they can use his location on his cell phone to show him running around the property, basically. Here, let me just read from the article. Cell phone records appear to show Barry Morphew's phone pinging all around the house on May 9th. When asked about this unusual phone activity, Barry told investigators he was running around the property shooting chipmunks, which Barry says were a constant nuisance. However, investigators believe this unusual phone activity could be Barry chasing Suzanne around the house after shooting her with a tranquilizer gun. And I believe that theory would go on to say, like, did she potentially lock herself in the bedroom and he busted in? Hey, Tess. Oh, her melts are everything. Nay, that Wicked Vanilla Woods that we talked about. Oh my gosh. I wish that you could make one that smells like that. Leaving is the most dangerous time, cray cray. And that's what she was attempting to end things by that text. I am from Beckley, Coffindaffer sucks. So 30 minutes from Princeton. That's crazy. Very defensive, yes. Oh, thank you, Scout. Oh, thank you, Tess. Had to take off my cleaning gloves to say I unequivocally agree you were made to present true crime with a beautiful heart. That's all. I love and appreciate all you guys. The mods are the bomb for sure. Oh, Melanie. That's cute. Thank you. Okay. Chipmunks are beyond cute. Well, so this is another thing, like with Brian Koberger. People say phone pings aren't that accurate. No, they might not be if it's specifically just phone pings on a tower, but they are able to do much more with that. The location, like, even get out. I've said this before on a live, but if you get your phone out and open Google Maps and you have your location on and you turn around and do a 180-degree turn and face the other way, your phone, the arrow will do a 180-degree turn. If you walk 100 yards or 100 feet to the right, your phone will also move. Alex Cox, they tracked down exactly where he was standing in Chad Daybell's yard, and that's how they found Lori's kids. So he probably didn't want her to get half of the money. Share. Good to see you. MB gal, I don't know. I hope so. Hey, Princess Megan Elsa. Okay, let me continue because we got a lot more I want to show you guys. So that satellite movement shows some of his movements, from here to here to here to here. That is interesting. Digital vehicle forensics reveal suspicious activity. Authorities say Barry Morphew told them he went to bed around 8 p.m. on May 9th, but his truck's computer shows the truck, seen here in this evidence photo, was put in reverse and backed up towards the house at 9:30 p.m. A pivotal piece of evidence. This is part of that tranquilizer gun. So it's actually the clear plastic needle cap to the tranquilizer dart. I believe this is what this says. So prosecutors contend it's an important piece of evidence. They believe that when Barry arrived home the afternoon of May 9th, he went into the garage, took this cap off of a syringe used to load a tranquilizer dart, injected the dart with the chemical, and shot Suzanne, though they failed to find a working tranquilizer gun or tranquilizer chemicals in the couple's home. Barry said he had no idea how it got into the dryer. He did admit he was experienced with those because he uses them to illegally sedate deer and remove their antlers to sell. His defense says the cap means nothing because no one knows how long it's been there. So here are some of the texts. I thought that they were in here. Texts reveal a struggling marriage. These are texts with a close friend. Days before, in the months and days leading up to her disappearance. So let me read them to you guys. Suzanne says, he's not going to be rational. No, I'm sorry. Suzanne's friend says, he's not going to be rational. Did something happen yesterday that brought on this? Or is it just the everyday normal that is building up and wearing you down? She said, money stuff. It's sketchy. Her friend says, was he planning on going with Mallory, or was that just a snag at getting someone on his side? Suzanne, I need to ask your opinion on it. He also asked me if I'm talking to anyone about our marriage, like friends. And her friend says, make sure he doesn't see your phone. You keep it with you? ? Suzanne, yes. Her friend, when will he be home? Suzanne, probably late. Then Suzanne says, he came home when girls are gone. He won't speak of divorce, begging for another chance. I'm so torn, but in my heart, I know who he is. And her friend says, isn't that what he always says? How long can you keep forgiving him? That was convenient timing, too. She said, that's what I told him. He threw the 70x7 at me, always using scripture when it's convenient. So he uses religion to manipulate her, He also used religion to make her look bad for the affair after that came out. I think that's a script in the a scripture out of the Bible, but I could be wrong. Oh, thank you, Carol freaking Claus. Thank you, and welcome, you guys. Oh, that was very sweet. Thank you. He was hunting chipmunks indoors. It did look like he was indoors in that one. Thank you, Carol freaking Claus. Okay. A slew of text messages between Suzanne and her close friend show the marriage was rocky. In one text, she writes, quote, I feel no peace when he's here. And I quote, I would not feel safe alone with him, unquote. She literally tells her friend she would not feel safe alone with him. Those texts from March are about the divorce, but on May 6th, just days before she disappeared, she texts Barry, quote, I'm done. I could care less what you're up to and have been for years. We just need to figure this out civilly, unquote. This is the deleted message, okay? He is an avid hunter and outdoorsman. Look at him here. This is inside their home, by the way. This photo shows some deer heads displayed inside their home. It's beautiful in there. Absolutely beautiful. Huge flags. I agree, Pepper. Hey, Juju Bones. This photo shows deer heads displayed inside the home. When investigators told Barry a tranquilizer dart had been fired in or around the house and they could not explain it, he responded, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I came here and saw deer in my yard with big horns, I'm like, I'm getting them horns. And I'll tell you exactly what I did. I shoot them. They go to sleep. I cut their horns off. It's totally illegal, but you're going to find trank darts around my property because I've done that," unquote. Now, here we get to the trash runs, you guys. This is huge. This is one of the biggest things that makes me confident in what I believe, because I do believe that he knows what happened. Now, I know there's some weird stuff. There's other bodies found where she's found and stuff like that. But regardless of all of that, this right here is, how do you explain it? Why would any normal human do this? Does anyone hunt big game? Hey, Tiff. Aw, just a YouTuber. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's very sweet. Okay, so multiple trash runs. On May 10th, the day Suzanne Morphew is reported missing, investigators discovered Barry Morphew threw out trash at multiple locations around Broomfield, Colorado, while in town for work. This photo, taken from hotel surveillance footage, shows Barry throwing out trash in a dumpster. So there he is, if y'all see, with this, he's got a lot of stuff in his hands, and there are multiple dumpsters, multiple things he was throwing away. Very weird. Hey, Neat Noodle. I hate you when you're late, too. Hey, Amelia. Ow. Other bodies. Yeah, so they found Suzanne while looking for someone else. And they have found other people close by. However, I've seen, now this is just rumor, that this area is known to locals to be where people are disposed of, for lack of a better word. Barry told investigators he often dropped trash in accessible bins to avoid paying to have it disposed of at a landfill. Investigators, however, believe he was disposing of evidence. Then we have the scratch marks. Adding to the prosecution theory that there was a physical altercation leading up to Suzanne's murder are these apparent scratch marks on Barry's arm in a photo taken by investigators 3 days after Suzanne went missing. Y'all, I'm sorry, but that's another piece of very damning evidence, in my opinion. Could it be the chipmunks? Arrested and jailed. There he is. We know he was charged with first-degree murder. In the arrest affidavit, prosecutors spelled out what they believe happened to Suzanne. And they say, quote, "It had become clear that Barry could not control Suzanne's insistence on leaving him, and he resorted to something he has done his entire life, hunt and control Suzanne like he had hunted and controlled animals." Standing by their father. There is the element that, his daughters stand very closely by their dad. I personally don't even want to get too much into that because they're young ladies. They don't have their mom anymore. Can you blame them? No, I don't think so. Look at Harley with Letitia, and she was very obviously guilty, but Harley still didn't realize that for a while. So I think that, you want to believe your dad. Okay. A new twist, mystery DNA. I don't know how this is a new twist. This was discovered this was talked about in the preliminary hearing. So DNA testing revealed a partial match to an unnamed man connected to 3 unsolved sexual assault cases in Phoenix and Chicago. The legal team says it intends to file a lawsuit claiming prosecutors withheld more specific exculpatory evidence until after the preliminary hearing, which decided the case against Barry is strong enough to go to trial. I don't know what that evidence would be if there's more than that. Let's see. Now, the judge did find that the DA and her team repeatedly missed deadlines and failed to turn over important information. They said, quote, "It is clear to this court there is a pattern of discovery violations in this case attributable to the people. Their actions amount to negligent and arguably reckless disregard." So the DA didn't get her motions turned in time, but guess what she was doing? She was on YouTube doing interviews with Chris McDonough. She was so confident that they're going to find him guilty. I know what I'm doing. I know there's no body been found, but, I've got this. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't have filed the charges. Okay. Well, we saw what happened. Oh, thank you, Claus. Thank you again. And you guys that have done memberships or super chats, if you wanted to hold on to that anymore, and because I still want to do the fundraiser, I'm going to have several of my friends on that also have channels just to talk about the case and do it through YouTube, where no money goes to us, no money goes to YouTube, to the creators. It all goes directly to the fundraiser. I found a charity called The Hotline. It's a domestic violence charity, but it's also for any relationship abuse, like whether it's physical or mental, right? Because Barry was, said to be very controlling and that kind of thing. So just wanted to remind you guys, and thank you so much. Okay. In earlier filings, prosecutors said that the court did not find willful misconduct associated with any discovery violations, noting, quote, "Ultimately, the sanctions imposed greatly damaged the people's case, tantamount to dismissal for late disclosures that were not greatly prejudicial, but rather technical in nature." Okay, so now let's click over. We're going to watch this for a moment. This is just from around the time that he had the preliminary hearing, I believe, when these photos came out. It's just a 2-minute little video. Hold on. It is very quiet. Too quiet. Okay.
County man accused of killing him. Newly released evidence tonight involving a Chaffee County man accused of killing his wife.
Tonight, for the first time, we're seeing some of the photographic evidence submitted in the Barry Morphew murder case. Good evening. I'm Mallory Anderson in for Bart tonight.
And I'm Heather School. Tonight, a first look at evidence in the murder case against accused wife killer Barry Morphew.
The mother of his two daughters vanished Mother's Day weekend 2020. KRDO News Channel 13 Sydney Stell combed through the new photos released by a Chaffee County judge today.
Well, Heather, Mallory.
Here we have him carrying. Here, let me just rewind a second so we can have her describe what she sees. These are some of the other things he was throwing away.
She's live in the studio. Sydney.
Well, Heather, Mallory, you can see a photo here of Barry Morphew in a Denver hotel, or a suburban Denver hotel, I should say, on the day that his wife disappeared back in 2020. Investigators say these photos helped show that he made several trips to dumpsters.
Look at all that. Also shovels, right? He's photographed taking shovels in. He claims, I just came to bring tools to the people that were working with me. And they claim, like, I don't remember exactly what they said. I know it was basically he's bullshitting and it didn't make sense to us. Things were very weird that he wasn't doing what we were supposed to be doing. We can go over those to get like factual, exactly what they said, but they did come out and speak. But you see, I'm going to rewind again just to show some of these pictures. He's got these boots and these bags, 2 giant trash bags. I would love to know, what are you throwing away?
Disappeared back in 2020.
Barry.
Investigators say these photos helped show that he made several trips to dumpsters that day.
This photo shows him holding shovels in the hotel lobby. He told law enforcement he was there for a construction job, but they later found out he was not permitted to use his heavy equipment because it was a Sunday. His wife's body still has not been found. These photos show scratches on Barry's hands and arms taken in the days after his wife's disappearance. The court also released photos Friday of Suzanne's bedroom, where a shell casing was found, and of the tranquilizer dart found in the home's dryer trap. Suzanne's purse was left behind in her car. Evidence shows the purse and all of its contents, including her wallet with cash, her ID, her credit cards, all things investigators say someone would not leave behind if they just ran away to start a new life. We're also seeing new photos of Suzanne's bike and helmet. Barry told law enforcement that he believed his wife was out for one of her regular bike rides when something must have happened to her. This is where her bike and her helmet were found in relation to her home. Investigators said they didn't find any evidence of an attack or crash when they found her bike, and you can see the condition that her bike was found in, along with a partial photo of her helmet.
Now, a new judge just
Okay,
took over the
now
case following
I wanted to take you guys. We're going to hang out for a little bit longer. I've got a few other things. So I've got, this is just like 40-second video from New York Post. We're going to watch that for a second. Then we're going to watch what her sister said about Barry back in the day. And then this body language thing if we have time. So let me click here. This is just a 40-second quick thing. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. It truly does, especially for this case. And I'm so thankful that Suzanne has been found. So here, let's missing Colorado mom Suzanne Morphew's family. And I'm sure they have this in article form, but I just found it like this, so I figured we would watch it. Her family is, quote, struggling with immense shock and grief after her body was finally found by police 3 days after she took a Mother's Day bike ride and never came home. Did she take the bike ride? The 49-year-old's remains were found in Moffat, a town less than an hour from the home she shared with her husband and her 2 daughters. Investigators have not revealed information on exactly where her remains were found. Or the state of her body. Suzanne's husband, Barry, was arrested for first-degree murder in 2021, but the charges were dropped last year without prejudice. The Morphews had, quote, faith that their wife and mom would walk back into their lives again, unquote, their lawyer wrote in a statement. Okay, so now the sister's video.
Hands of her husband, and
Or this is
now her sister is, she's the mom.
Sorry, you guys. Let me check on your comments before we watch this. She never went on a bike ride, in my opinion. My chat is frozen, I think. I don't know. Okay, there it is. Thank you, Claus. Thank you. And welcome, you guys. Okay.
Mom presumed dead, allegedly at the hands of her husband, and now her sister is speaking out. Melinda Mormon says from day one of her sister's disappearance last Mother's Day, she thought her brother-in-law, Barry Morphew, was responsible. When this all went down a year ago, did you think it had something to do with Barry?
Yes.
What made you think that Barry could be the one to blame?
The Friday before Mother's Day. My sister had sent me a text message that morning. It was very lengthy. It was very powerful. It was very revealing. She was ready to share some things that she'd been keeping close to her vest.
Melinda says her sister Suzanne had expressed concern for her own safety in the past. Was your sister scared of Barry?
Yes.
What made her scared of her own husband?
Barry was very dominant in the relationship, and my sister was a very passive, gentle soul. He had a great tendency to overpower and intimidate people to get what he wanted.
He had a great tendency to overpower people to get what he wanted. And she's known to have this very passive personality.
Do you think that Barry killed your sister?
Yes, I do.
Morphew has maintained his innocence, claiming he was 150 miles away in Denver and staying at a Holiday Inn Express when his wife disappeared. The Morphews have 2 daughters, Mallory and Macy, who are standing by their dad. The Morphews' daughters apparently refuse to believe their dad had anything to do with the presumed slaying of...
Just a YouTuber. Now, Just a YouTuber says she was under a tree in a shallow grave in a place called the Boneyard. Now, if that turns out to be factual, I might fall out completely because number one, Barry was carrying a tree in one of those photos in the surveillance footage. Number two, that was something that was said for a long time, that he would have potentially buried her under a tree because of the decomposition process or something like that. So, like I said, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't have the photo here, but I'm sure I could find it. He was captured in those surveillance footage of him throwing away all that stuff and everything. In one of the images, he was holding a small tree. Like I said, I might fall completely out on that one.
Of their mother. They were inside the courtroom during his hearing, where they made a heart-shaped sign of support with their hands and mouthed the words, "I love you."
Parents have a very powerful influence on their children.
Let me let you guys hear that part one more time because I was talking. I hope that this has been a good refresher for people that have followed it, and also for people who haven't, because we're kind of going through. There's no way to go through all of it in one live, but we're going through a lot of the biggest points. Just a YouTuber, I would absolutely love that. Can one of the mods put my email address in the chat? The tie-dye one.
Where they made a heart-shaped
Thank
sign
you
of
so
support
much.
with their hands and mouthed the words, "I love you."
Parents have a very powerful influence on their children for good or for evil.
Despite extensive searches, Suzanne's remains have yet to be found. Melinda says for now, she believes only her brother-in-law has the power to give his wife
Oh, thank
a
you,
decent
crazy mama.
burial.
Okay.
I want you to tell the truth. Please do the right thing, Barry. Please do the right thing.
Unravel. I haven't followed it at all. It's very interesting. Well, good. I'm glad that this is like kind of, if you haven't followed it, it's kind of making sense because there's just so much. Thank you, MK. Oh, no, I was about to do that. Thank you. The case was dismissed because of Brady evidence held back from prosecution. All right, let's continue. We're going to check out this.
Buddy, Dr. G here. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and body language expert.
Also, I do have the video. There was a YouTuber who just a few days after her disappearance, during the time when everyone was searching, he ran into Barry, and I have the edited, uncut version of that. Should we watch that or this? This goes through his statement. Let's go to, I want to just watch one part of this with you guys. This is his plea, his public plea for Suzanne. We'll watch Dr. G do this, and then I'm going to share the link for this video so you guys can watch his full video, because I don't want to take his whole video. Or just watch this 1 minute of it, and then we'll watch Barry and his interaction with Tyson Draper. Okay, so I saw that, Tess. I saw he was live too. Dr. G. I like Dr. G too. Let's hope Gruesing will do what he did with Letitia.
There are certain questions that people ask that brings suspicion onto them. And those are the kinds of questions that do. Next, we're going to be watching a short video of Barry Morphew asking for Suzanne to come home or for her to be released. Let's see what his body language says.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love.
All right, so I'm going to rewind for a second so we can watch this again. Now, one interpretation I've heard about this video is that because he's shaking his head no like this while he's saying he wants her to come home, that he in fact doesn't want her to come home. And I understand the logic because I've talked about head nods and head shakes being inconsistent with what people are saying. But this is a little bit different, and I'll explain why. He does it throughout the entire video. And I talk about getting a baseline. Getting a baseline is understanding somebody's normal behaviors. So when we see a change in behavior, it stands out. Through this, he's doing it the whole time. It becomes impossible to attribute specific meaning to that behavior because he does it so constantly. Watch this again.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you. We miss you. Your girls need you.
So people have specifically asked me about this clip, and reading body language in a clip like this is exceedingly difficult because they're going to do multiple takes. He probably did this 5, 10, 20 times to make sure they got the right take.
Yeah,
Put it
you know
all
he
in one
did.
go, which really isn't easy to do if there's certain things that you want to say. What this does tell us, though, is that at times he does say things that, once again, can come across as a little odd, saying whoever has you, because I don't know if it was actually presumed that she was being held captive.
No, it wasn't. He automatically assumed that. He automatically puts up this huge reward. And also he's shaking his head no the whole time. Just a YouTuber, that's okay. I actually just cropped the photo you sent me, and I sent it. I either sent it to myself, or if not, I'm about to, and I'm gonna show it. I will never put your name out there, babe. Okay.
But it seems like an odd thing to say. Once again, that doesn't presume guilt. That doesn't suggest guilt. It just suggests someone who may not think through very thoroughly everything that he says. Let's keep watching this.
No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you. I want you back so bad.
So I've seen videos of people pleading for family members to come home, and there can be meaningful information in those, because if it's the news interviewing somebody and off the cuff they're saying, hey, I want my family to come home, or something to that effect, you can see real emotion there. But something like this is practiced. You're going to say it over and over again until you can get it right. And even though it's only 25 seconds, you might be surprised at how hard it is to say the right thing nonstop for that long. So I would not read too much into how he says this or what he's doing in this video, because I don't know how many takes it took to get this video. Now we're going to watch.
I'm sure he practiced it a million times. Okay. So let's look at the YouTuber. Okay. The YouTuber who ran into Barry on his search, and also just a YouTuber, just sent a photo where, and I'll say this is not officially facts. This is just, based on rumor. But if this turns out to be accurate, it's going to be very interesting, because like I said, being near or under a tree with everything else we know is very interesting. Thank you for sending that as well. Okay, so here we go. Tyson Draper. I'm going to link this video.
My name's Tyson.
Barry did not know he was being recorded. This was in just a couple days of after Suzanne went missing. Tyson went out there to search. There was already a lot of speculation about him potentially being guilty or having something to do with it. And people were going crazy over this, over his body language, everything. So we're going to watch it together. It's been years since I've seen this. I just grabbed it and put it in the folder for us to look at. I did not watch it again. So everything is speculation until we get the real facts. Somewhat, Chopper, but not everything, because those pictures and stuff we were going through, that is part of the court record. That because he had a preliminary hearing, so a lot of that stuff was presented as evidence on court record. Those pictures, his GPS, the telematics on his truck, all of those things are part of the court record. The spy pen, those text messages. But yeah, the photo I just showed is just, not part of the court record. Emily says, oh yes, this video. Watch this, guys. Just a YouTuber. Tyson is great. What did Barry, aka The Flash, think was going to happen? Ooh, okay, Bushi. Thank you. Most crimes involve speculation. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, what we do here is, right? But I always like to be really clear about that, because you never know. It might be somebody's first time with the case. Look how Idaho has exploded with rumors and craziness. I think it's really important to be specific and make sure that that is clear. Excuse me, you guys. And the photo said where Suzanne's body was recovered from. Every time I hear his plea, it reminds me of that song, "Oh Suzanne, Don't You Cry for Me." Yeah, that "Oh Suzanne." Oh God Almighty. Okay, so this was a couple days after Suzanne went missing and this happened. Now there's a whole nother, here's body cam footage, the first moments after, like during the beginning of the investigation. Then we also have this very interesting story about the job he was doing in Broomfield and that wall, which, like I said, we can't get into everything. There is so much. It'd be impossible, but I really want you guys to see this. I'll try not to pause too much. We'll watch for a few minutes without pause.
Draper. I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
So,
What happened?
okay.
Yeah, you mind putting that in your pocket?
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. No, it's not on, bro. It's not on.
We've had a lot of media.
Yeah.
Bother us. And obviously, this is very emotional.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Private from me. But we searched. It's never going to hurt to retrace searches. So we searched a 200-mile radius.
What? Really?
All of the mountains have been covered so far. But obviously, we're going to miss things.
Right.
So let me show you what happened. And I do have a reward.
There is a reward?
$210,000 reward. The bike was found at the bottom of the hill by that tree where the pink is.
Oh, really?
The first night there was a mountain lion. The officer seen it walk by the car, so we thought maybe she got attacked by a lion. We thought maybe she wrecked coming down this hill, a car coming around the corner fast, and maybe was disoriented and got in the river. We've covered all of this really good, this triangle with search and rescue. So we're pretty comfortable that she's not in this triangle between the RV park, your truck, this road, and then the next road.
Couple things. First of all, one of the first things Barry says, they talk about at least, is the camera being on. Number two, he makes sure to throw out, oh, there was a mountain lion that went by a cop car, so we think she might have gotten taken by a mountain lion. Number three that I noticed, we have, searched this area really, really well. Like we've looked everywhere. Just interesting. I'm very curious if there's any way that they will be able to tell if she's been moved.
What seems to have happened from the investigators, and they don't give much when I've got private people working for me, is maybe she was abducted right here. And they found an article going west of hers. They won't tell us what it is.
An article.
So they sent another team after they found the article that covered this hillside all the way down to the river pretty good. My concerns were this way and that way if it was the cat, because the cats, they drag their prey up the mountain and out of people's. We can't find sign for the cat, but we got rain right away.
Yeah.
Could have washed away sign.
So they found her bike just right against that tree down there?
Well, no, it was on the ground. The wheel was facing, and the sheriff department, they screwed everything up. They shouldn't have touched it.
Okay. The sheriff's department, they screwed everything up. They shouldn't have touched it. That stood out to me from day one. This man who is, and I remember thinking this at the time, this man who is supposedly desperately looking for his wife, and he's already like, the cops messed everything up. They're ruining everything. I find that really interesting. Let me see something. Her bones were scattered already. They would not know if she was moved. Well, see, I that confused me, the article, because they said she was in a shallow grave and then scattered, and I said this on Amber's last night. I actually had made a post about this, but I removed it. I didn't want to be insensitive to Suzanne, her memory, her family. in the way that it was just written in black and white, I felt like it seemed to be it was a little insensitive. So I took it down, but I'm really curious what that means. And even if that's the case, you know, is there still some sort of way that they can determine how long the decomposition process was happening around whatever foliage is there, or, that kind of thing. What do you guys feel about his body language? I'll play about 30 more seconds and then we're going to go to the body cam footage for a minute.
Oh, really? Left evidence. Hold it up and then the sheriff. And we had cars over here. Well, the sheriff let everybody drive through here, covering messing up all the evidence. They were walking all over this area, which if somebody abducted her, they would have had foot tracks. They would have had fingerprints on the bike. And they let 10 other people touch the bike.
Oh, man.
I mean, we was really upset that first night. But I was in Denver, so
Oh, you were?
I didn't get here until 9 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
And my friend's an Army Ranger, and he knows this stuff.
Emily,
better.
that's what I was thinking as well. And then I agree, Leanne. That's where I'm at. Aries, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think that, I just don't know. But let me go here for a minute. Body camera footage shows first moments after Suzanne Morphew is reported missing.
And
Oh, Bushi. Okay, let me grab that now while we watch this. Oh, wow, just a YouTuber. Good.
Maybe see if you can get that up to the road and then check the serial number or call the husband and see what kind of bike she had. Somebody check it on it.
Bushi, can you check where you sent that? Because it hasn't came through yet. Make sure you spelt the email right. And then before we watch any more of this, there's a couple comments I thought were interesting to highlight. Just a YouTuber says, CBI and Sheriff's Office have been out at the boneyard doing those line shoulder-to-shoulder searches since they found her. And I know from my experience with like covering and following Lori Vallow's case, when they have a very specific process to making sure that they do not miss anything, so hopefully they do it the way that they did. Doug Nasty says, yes, decomp can be estimated based on the surrounding chemicals our bodies release during the process. If there's none or minimal, she was moved. Look up decomp farms where they test conditions. Thank you. I figured, science is pretty awesome, you guys. There's a lot that they can do, and that makes sense to me. Don't fake the funk. I love your name. Says, my friend and I drove to Moffett the Sunday before she was found. The weather was bad, rain, thunder, and lightning. I'm wondering if the weather brought her up from the shallow grave. It's possible. Made it easier to find her, Barry, you put your hands all over the bike immediately. TikTok, Barry. Overconfident to hide guilt. Let me see. Looks like someone threw the bike up there. Forensics are amazing. Science is amazing. My dad's a chemist. He retired as a chemist. He also has a gun shop, but he went to college and stuff, has a degree in organic chemistry and nutrition, like a minor in nutrition. And because of that, I've always science and chemistry, the makeup of things has always been part of the conversations in my household, which I find I still to this day, the science behind makeup, skincare, THC, marijuana products, all that stuff is really interesting to me. And who knows what they can do that, the technology they have that we're not aware of yet. Denver 7 News. Yes, I can, Bushi. I absolutely can. Denver 7. Okay. I'm going to play this while I look for that.
Call the husband and see what type of bike she has. Right now I'm staring at a Santa Cruz blue in color.
Bushi, is there a death investigator on them? A cold case investigator that is on that video?
Not bad.
Oh wow, Chopper, that's cool. My dad specialized in environmental stuff for his job. Ooh, that's cool, David.
Careful when you're talking to you, just stay down there. I'm not talking too much. Yeah, something's up with this front tire stuff.
Bronco, if I'm not mistaken, there was more than one other body that was recovered from that area.
Except something's up with the front tire.
And I'm not sure that means they're related at all. You know, that's just where I'm at right now. But there's her bike. Now, let's go to the house, okay? Thank you guys for being here with me. This case is so very special to my heart, and I just appreciate you guys for joining the conversation.
Okay. And I'm here. Is this your truck? That's my truck. Somebody should have never mind. I got something here. So you haven't seen the mom at all, have you?
Yep. So the two daughters are gone right now at the moment. The dad is in Denver for a job, and they text her because of Mother's Day, and they haven't heard. The text never went through, like it never delivered since this morning. And she's a big mountain biker. She normally takes her
I'm going to
car.
skip here, you guys. I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat so anybody can get it and watch in full. But this is where I believe Barry comes up.
Where is it? Where's the bike? Oh, it's right there. Where was it? It was like just right down here in this little embankment.
Hold up. Okay, this is Barry's reaction to her bike being found.
Where is it? Where's the bike?
Where is it? Where's her bike? Dude, I'm sorry. I got to play that again for y'all. This is... Hey, Rachel.
Where is it? Where's the bike? Oh, it's right there. Where was it? It was like just right down here.
Where was it? I'm sorry. Rachel, so we are still, okay. I had a video for tonight planned at 8 o'clock where I was going to have several of my friends on and we were going to discuss the case and do a fundraiser through YouTube for the hotline. That is still going to happen, but one of my friends needs a little bit of time to look at some of this. That's going to join us. And also another friend of mine who has a channel, it looks like she has a special guest tonight at that same time. So I decided, well, I'll push that back. We'll do that soon. But in the meantime, I want to talk about this. So that's kind of how this happened. Over dramatic. Yeah. Where is it? Where's her bike? Where'd you find it? I don't know. His tone of voice. I mean, it just, and the Oscar goes to, he makes me sick. I'm happy Suzanne was found. Justice for Suzanne. God, I can't stand this video. I'm so sorry, Rachel, that you're late because of me. Hey, Amber, my beautiful friend. If you missed it last night, we did have a really good conversation on all of this, and we're going to keep talking about it, going through some of the court paperwork. On Amber's channel, though, it was good. So definitely go check it out on Denver 7. Bushi, I've got Denver 7 pulled up. So we'll look at that in just a moment. I just want to finish this body cam. Amber, this is the moment where Barry first finds out her bike was found. Bad acting. 5 bodies have been recovered. Wow, Funtuski, thank you for sharing. What if the other body is a woman he was having an affair with? She helped bury Suzanne and unalived her. There'd be no witness. Who knows, man? Fake AF. Who knows what's actually going on there? I'm very curious to see. Curious what the autopsy and crime scene evidence show. Be crazy if it ends up something totally different. It would be, but we have went through so much evidence I had even forgotten about. I will be absolutely shocked, including, the scratch marks on him and the door being busted and all the photos of him throwing stuff in different dumpsters and employees coming forward saying he lied. He actually lied. Sunday he didn't even have a work permit to work up in Broomfield on Sunday. So that was completely faked. That entire story was there for a reason. It was purposeful that he said that, but it doesn't line up. And even his employees said, we didn't even have the equipment to do the job that we were going to do. Like they were totally shocked as well. I would love to go back to that. I forgot that his employees did those interviews. Oh, D Mart, really? Okay. So yeah, this is Investigators with Barry. Let's keep watching for a moment.
Well, banquet right here. Sorry, Chippy. That's good. We got the husband on the scene here with me.
I'm here with my daughter. She's at Gary's house.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can go down there.
Was it a crash?
I mean, the bike looked, the way it was laying, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much.
Did you see his face? Is it a crash? Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to be honest with what I think and feel. I mean, he could be totally innocent at the end of the day. This is just my opinion, and I'm just little old me. But watch this again. Is it a crash?
I'm here with my daughter. She's at Gary's house.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can go down there.
Was it a crash?
I mean, the bike looked, the way it was laying, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much damage to the bike. That's the thing.
Lion?
Yeah, it was just like
Was
lion.
that no lion?
A mountain lion.
I didn't see anything that was.
I didn't see anything, and they're not letting us go to the side
because we're getting attracted.
Hey, man.
Just right down in here.
Do you know where my husband and son are?
They probably went down to.
Oh, wow. Just I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
And they're just, I know this is tough right now. Do you mind if I just get a driver's license for our report stuff? Search and rescue is on the way. Hey, Barry, and then I'll probably need your help to kind of tell me some of the trails that she frequents so we can backtrack some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. She's an avid mountain biker, right?
Brenda and Barry, man, they're on my list, honey.
She's been there.
Oh my God.
And just for confirmation, you left this morning at 5. Okay. And she told you she was going to go bike riding?
She bikes every day, yeah.
Okay.
She said she's going to bike when she gets up.
So she was asleep in the bed when you left. Did you say bye to her or anything?
I remember Funtuski.
Okay. So the last time you probably actually saw her was this morning. That was it, right?
Yeah, I've been through so I got a big job up there. I've been there all day.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, you need to calm down.
No, it's all good, man. We're doing the best. We got
Did
a
they
lot of
check
people
the house?
coming.
Did they?
Yeah.
They looked through the house.
Yeah, they got the house. So what we're doing is we're keeping people out of the house because if the dog comes, they want to get a scent from out of the house.
Yeah.
So they don't want to pollute that scent. So that way we can start trying. And I walked up this.
Barry, he's just like Alex Murdoch, Jimmy James. That's exactly.
Nothing looked like.
Dead on. Oh my God, Beverly said the
But
same
that's
thing.
the thing. When we came here, still was daylight.
Okay,
right?
Bushy.
So if she was right here, somebody would have easily, you know what I mean? Just because it was like literally like right down. It was this. I mean, if we saw it coming in, somebody would have definitely seen it too. You know.
Okay, you guys. So what I'm going to do is, even though this body cam is so interesting and we could watch through it all together, there is so much to talk about and that I want to look at before we go. So let's finish. We're going to go over to Denver 7 because Bushi talks about a couple of videos over there. The body cam, the full body cam footage, the link was just dropped in the chat for anybody who wants to see that. Now I'm going to go over here to Denver 7. I've got, look, Bushi, we've got this investigator Cold case expert says investigation into Suzanne Morphew's death will take time. And then let me see if there's another one. Suzanne Morphew, Salada community hopes discovery of body something. Attorney for Barry releases statement. Salada community processing the news. Community waiting for justice. CBI remains found. And then we have another one, remains found. This is the local news there. So let me see here. We will. Let me see if you have it, if you're going to tell me which one you want us to go look at. And if not, I'm going to click on one. Where is the replay chat? I can never find it after the chat's in. Tiff, YouTube changed it. So you know where the comments are right under the video? Swipe right, and then you'll see live chat. But you need to wait like about an hour at least. For my channel, the chat loads fast. Little side note, for channels that are smaller, that have just started, it may take 12 hours for the chat to load. And I don't know why that is. Mine used to be like that too. So... Oh, here we go. Extensive search done Friday. This is it. Thank you, Bushi.
Good evening. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Amy Wattis. It's been exactly a week since the remains of Suzanne Morphew were found, and investigators still looking for answers.
Today, Denver 7 learned the search continued in Moffett, where crews spent hours looking for evidence on the side of the road. Denver 7's Claire Lavasorio in Moffett live. And what have we learned today, Claire?
Shannon and Amy, I want to give you some perspective of where I am this afternoon. Now, I'm off of Colorado 17, about 2 miles south of the town of Moffett, not far from the Dollar General, if you've been in this small town. And I can see mile marker 103. It's just next to me.
Mile marker 103. Hold up. Can we pull this up on Google Maps? Moffett, mile marker 103. Let's keep listening.
Right here next to these beautiful mountains. And this afternoon, I was the only reporter here with my photographer as more than 36 investigators were combing through this vast space. And they were even using heavy machinery, combing through this brush, searching for answers. And a CBI official confirming with me here on scene that it was all related to the Suzanne Morphew investigation.
Okay, we're going to finish this, but just for a second, let's flip over to Google Maps. Here we have the Dollar General. I just put in Moffett, Colorado, mile marker 103, and we see that Dollar General. Is it off of 17, I wonder, or... I see a couple cannabis stores. It's a small town, but look, they got High Valley Cannabis, Ortiz Cannabis, Prairie Fire Gardens, Astronomic. I don't know what all those are. JJ Farmers. Let me turn on the terrain. We're going to come back to this and see, but let me go back to our video. Sorry, you guys, we're kind of researching together right now.
2 hours later, that was confirmed to everyone through a news release. CBI tells us that investigators finished their multi-day search related to the Suzanne Morphew investigation near the town of Moffett, where her body was found. And we watched investigators, as you can see in some of this video, use a backhoe to dig a deep hole into the ground and pull out mounds of dirt. And remember, the town of Moffett, it is a very small town. So
I believe, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think AK was looking through the map on his live last night. I'll have to go back because it was late for me, and I was exhausted. We had football and everything.
People who live here, they're not used to having a national story right in their backyard.
It's south of the town.
Here's what one local had to say about the discovery of Suzanne Morphew's remains right in her backyard.
weird, and it's not for something good. And there's so many good stories that happen around here. It happens everywhere. But the fact, because I can remember when she went missing, they were focusing the search in Poncha and towards Canyon City. So the fact that she was found in the other direction is weird.
Investigators say since the discovery of Suzanne Morphew's remains, no arrests have been made. We also learned some new information from
Let's see what it
CBI.
is. Of the information about the disappearance of another woman. Here is 17 and R. Oh, is it this little dirt road right here? You can see the mountains in the background. No, no, no. I need an A. I don't know how to walk around on this sucker. But okay, this is interesting. And there's another little... Wow, look at those mountains. How beautiful, you guys. Back over here for a moment.
Edna Quintana. Now we learned that the investigation and the search for her continues here in Saguache County. It's an ongoing search for that missing woman in this very county. Investigators say, though, that her search is not related at all. It is not related.
Have a full breakdown of this case, and absolutely still a lot of absolutely still a lot of work to be done. And we have a full breakdown of
to Suzanne's disappearance. I am live near the town of Moffett. Claire Lavazorio for Denver 7.
All right, Claire, thank you. Nice. Claire Lavazorio in Moffett live. And what have we learned today, Claire?
Shannon and Amy, I want to give you some perspective of where I am this afternoon. Now, I'm off of Colorado 17, about 2 miles south of the town of Moffett.
2 miles south of the town of Moffett. So let's go back to this. This is Moffett. South, 2 miles, like Scott said. By the way, good to see you, Scotty. He says R, we're correct? Was it R or S? Because we were just there at 17 and R. So here's R. There's Moffett. 2 miles south. I think that it appears to be somewhere in that area. You're right. South of town, Alex. Thank you, MK. It's by a big tree. Is that the tree right there that's on the screen right now? So close to the road. I know where it is. MK. Well, come on up here. Or how do I get it? Northwest corner. Oh, God almighty, y'all now. You're going to start confusing me. I am so bad with maps. Usually Wolfie helps me with this kind of stuff, but northwest corner of here. So does that mean right here? Hold on. There's that tree, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but is that how I do it? To look at Street View? How do I get the little man over here? Come on. Go hang out right here. Bro, does he have to be on the street? Oh, okay. So, I believe that's about where it's at, but I could be wrong. I am not good with maps. I'll have to get with MK, look at AK stuff, talk to Wolfie, figure it out. It's called the Boneyard for a reason. So is it a place local that is known by locals for that? Yikes, 2 miles from Dollar General. I was going to stop at Dollar General, but it was raining. We are still tripping. We was right there. We did see police and yes, a lot of dispensaries. The crazy thing is, what day were you there? Because they found her. Oh, thank you, MK. Okay. They found her days before we knew about it, right? So thank you, MK. Huh. I think the burial site was intentionally chosen as a finale to the relationship, alone, isolated, and where someone else could be blamed. It makes sense, D-Mart. Makes perfect sense. Seems like a dumping ground for bodies. Jaded. It reminds me of where I'm from, the Mojave Desert in Vegas. Allie, I sent it from him. Okay, thank you. Let me look. Oh, thank you, Amber. That's the tree in all caps. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. Oh, I love you guys, though. Thank you for doing this with me. Oh, thank you, Claus. I mean, if my freaking chat on my phone would load, I'd be able to see it. Thank you, B Crumbs, for letting me know. And thank you, Carol freaking Claus. So odd. That's the only tree. Did Barry plant it? Well, like I said, one of those photos, he was carrying a tree, you know. I think so, Bushi. That's like from what I understand. Now, we'll go back to the local news because I'm going to actually subscribe. Thank you, Bushi. And before we go, let's watch this because, let's see. I want to see exactly. There was one that was about 4 minutes long and it referenced CBI. And I want to see what all they put in this. Here.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Amy Wattis. We're following breaking news out of Saguache County this evening. After 3 years of searching, the remains of Suzanne Morphew have been found. Now, you'll recall that she was reported missing from her home in Chaffee County back in 2020. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation tell us they were searching in the area of Moffett on Friday during an unrelated investigation when they found her remains. Now, Denver 7's Claire Lavazorio is joining us live from Salida tonight with much more on these new developments. Hey, Claire, what have you learned?
The Colorado Bureau of Investigation says after more than 3 years of searching, a missing mother's remains have been found. They discovered the remains of Suzanne Morphew, and those were found in the town of Moffett. That's about 45 miles from where Suzanne was last seen Mother's Day weekend in May of 2020. But in the town of Salida, where I am tonight, Suzanne's memory is still alive years after she was last seen.
Wow, look on the building. Shine bright for Suzanne. You know what, you guys? Those scratches on his arms. Let's hope and pray that her fingernails are intact and there could potentially be some DNA under there. And I agree, Bronco. I wish they would find the West boys as well. You guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here.
I want to show you, I'm outside of a salon in the city of Salida, rather. And take a look at this. Shine bright for Suzanne. This is just one example of her memory that is still very much alive tonight, as well as this banner here that says shine bright in her memory. I talked to some of Suzanne's friends, one of her close friends tonight, a cosmetologist at the salon here, Wild Horses Salon, who says she met Suzanne and her daughters who were her customers that came not to this salon, but another salon that she worked at. She met Suzanne just that way as customers. And she said when she learned of the news of the discovery of her remains being found in the town of Moffett today, She says she knows that now today is really
Okay, guys, this is where we're going to wrap it up, but hang with me for just a second. So Westward does an article because I was looking for pictures of him with the tree. And they had this article about his affidavit. So we're going to look at a couple things in here. So one thing that came out in the affidavit, let me just read this. The 129-page document reveals specifics about Suzanne's unhappiness with her marriage, Barry's obsession over her affair with an old friend, his tortured explanations regarding his activities on the day in May of 2020 when investigators believe she was slain, touching on both a bull elk and a chipmunk, and his highly problematic view that her death was punishment for her unfaithfulness as meted out by God. Not that Barry appears to have been the model husband. On January 25th of 2020, his cell phone is said to have accessed localsnapsex.com, find a cute girl near Salida, and come get dirty. These were all deleted. In that April, Suzanne texted Barry this message, quote, "Oh, I'm sure your mistress has you all happy now so you can say you love me, but bully me when you're with me. Yeah, that's love." Suzanne texted him in April about him bullying her. I think he was very dominant. He was the one calling most of the shots. There was 135 plus search warrants, 400 interviews, and 1,400 tips. Now, the affidavit says, quote, Suzanne took clear, articulable steps in January of 2020 in attempts to separate from and divorce her husband. She told family and friends about her intentions and secretly recorded her notes of abuse in her phone because Barry monitored it. These are photos of her from the affidavit. They talk about the bicycle, and we're going to read through the affidavit maybe with Melissa and Amber. So I'm not going to read every detail of this, but I really want to focus on some of these photos. They talk about Jeff Libler and the Facebook message, and that's all in the affidavit. Her messages with him and that selfie that day. And then, so this is very interesting. On May 8th, Suzanne saved in the notes section of her phone that Barry accused her of having a boyfriend on May 6th. The next day, May 9th, Suzanne's last proof of life occurred in the 2 o'clock hour when she was messaging Libler with a selfie while Barry returned to the residence. Suzanne did not respond to Libler's return messages at 2:44 and 2:46. The same time, Barry admitted to running around their property with a gun and placing his phone in airplane mode at 2:47 p.m. They talk about the telematics on his truck, the tranquilizer dart gun. Now, here we have, okay, this is another, before we get into these photos, there are 6 sections to the affidavit. We have section 1, Barry's involvement in her disappearance and death can be organized into the initial scene and interviews. Well, no, section 1, Suzanne's affair and her attempts to leave him. Section 2, Barry's early statements to CBI. Section 3, the evidence recovered by law enforcement. Section 4, witness statements. Section 5, and Barry's statements to the FBI in 2021, where he tangentially, I can't even say that word, and we've been on here for a while, so I'm starting to get a little crazy, but he describes to Suzanne when he is shown evidence in the case. So from left, May 10th, surveillance photos of Barry walking to his room at a Holiday Inn Express, walking away 19 minutes later wearing a different shirt and carrying a trash can containing unidentified items. So he's changing clothes, he's dumping lots of stuff. Then they talk about the telematics. We won't get into any of that, but it okay, look. So at 12:36, Barry arrives at the hotel parking lot in his truck. He got out of the truck and carried one white trash bag, larger in size than the previous bags. in one hand, and in the other hand he carried a black container along with a green item, possibly clothing. At 12:38, he placed bags, a black container, and clothing from his truck beside the curb. He then walked to his truck, appeared to pick up a small item from the inside, picked up the trash bag, coat, and container, and walked towards the dumpsters. He walked away from the dumpsters with nothing in his hands. And that wasn't the only dumpster. She did battle Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I think that that's that. I know there is a photo of him carrying a tree. And I really wanted to show that to you guys before we went. Give me just one second. I can't see chat right this second, but I'll be straight back to it. And then also his girlfriend was charged with trespassing at one point. I forgot about that. Photos and texts made public in Barry's case. Let me see. There we have him in the hotel room with boots, a sweater, trash bags, all red-faced. Tranquilizer and darts. His scratches on his hands as well. Okay, that's all in that one. And then there was one last thing I would like to show you. Here it is, about his girlfriend. So this was his girlfriend after Suzanne disappeared. Okay. And we'll end with this, and there's so much more. We'll definitely continue to talk about this and hope that someone gets arrested, right? Because now that she's been found, I hope that happens. OCD scratch, Shaggy, those photos of the scratches were taken within a couple days of her going missing from law enforcement. They have all his vehicle data. Yes, they do. Was the container on that a tree cones in? I don't know. I need to look closer because I remember there were other photos. Problem is he couldn't have dumped her there at all that morning. No time, location, and video proof. Well, I think he could have. I don't think he dumped her in her final site that day, but I think that whatever he did, it started Saturday, it happened throughout the night on Saturday and into Sunday. Okay. You had this spot. I have it pulled up on Earth. Oh, thank you, Nay. I'm saving that so we can keep looking at it in the future. Okay, so let's look at this really quick before we go. Woman suspected of having intimate relationship with Barry Morphew allegedly got caught carrying mysterious cardboard box away from his former home. That is Meet Show Shauna Dark in her mugshot. Hello, Shoshana. This woman knew Suzanne as well, you guys. And I got to refresh to remember all details, but a woman suspected of having a relationship with Barry Morphew, the Colorado man accused of murdering his wife Suzanne, has been arrested for allegedly trespassing on property near Maysville, which formerly belonged to the alleged murderer. And he was in jail at this time, if I'm not mistaken. But they have video footage of them together, images of them together and other things, I think through Daily Mail. According to Chaffee County Sheriff's Office, Shoshana Louise Dark, 51 of Salata, was charged with second-degree criminal trespassing after the property owners of the former Morphew residence observed a female enter their property, which is marked no trespassing, on September 27th. The female, subsequently identified as Dark, is accused of approaching the home via a long driveway leading to the front door and removing a package. Investigators reviewed several different home security recordings and verified the information provided by the homeowner. Investigators obtained an arrest warrant for Dark and took her into custody without incident in the Maysville area on September 28th. Criminal trespassing, Class 3 misdemeanor. According to the arrest warrant, a security system automatically alerts the current property owner when anyone approaches the former Morphew home. The owner texted a sheriff's office investigator. The system issued an alert. FYI, this person came on the property today. Not sure if they were with you or not. Can't see a face. Security camera image embedded within a Chaffee County, Colorado arrest affidavit allegedly shows Shoshana in the distance approaching the home. There she is again. This is the person. Then they shared that picture. Oh, he was out on bond at this time. Okay, that's right. So the investigator said he recognized the face from prior law enforcement contacts as to Shoshana Dark. The affidavit says Barry was out on bond and living at a property in close proximity to the Puma Path home. Dark worked for a real estate group cleaning homes owned by the same people who own the property where Morphew is staying as he awaits trial. There was a tip to law enforcement in 2020 that she was engaged in an intimate relationship with Morphew, but she denied those claims. However, an FBI camera installed near Shoshana's home caught Barry consistently coming and going and sometimes staying through the night, unquote. And, quote, Dark later said she met Morphew in October 2020 at the dumpster near the home. Additionally, surveillance footage from a Colorado Springs hotel placed Shoshana and Morphew together 2 days before Valentine's Day this year, with Shoshana carrying a large bouquet of flowers. So, don't know what she was carrying, don't know what she was doing at the house. She's alleged to have been caught on video jogging the driveway eastbound, leaving the view of the camera, last seen headed towards the front door, ultimately entering the view of the camera, headed west on the driveway, carrying what appears to be a package under her left arm. So, I'd like to see the body cam of her arrest. Just would like to see that. Here's the arrest affidavit. I'm not going to read through all of that. I'm going to leave her on the screen because, I mean, how do you, I don't know, Shoshana. If you hear this, I don't understand. There's a lot of men out there. I mean, Suzanne was only missing a couple months and Barry was with you. He was using her mail-in ballot to vote for Trump. Y'all were doing little rendezvous at the hotel. I don't understand that. I do not understand it, but that's just me. Shoshana, or however you spell it, I know it is. Met Barry out at the fire station. She broke engagement off with Francis. She was engaged to Francis Bach. He lived behind the fire station. Okay. So they didn't meet at the dumpster. Mary met her at the fire station. Bit like what, September lady? Yeah, it is. According to OK, Nancy says her last proof of life picture was from a previous vacation, according to OK and Martin. If anyone knows about this case, it's them. They absolutely do. That is very interesting, though, because then I think the prosecutors got it wrong if that would have been the case, but we shall see. Anyways, you guys, shit, you are reading my mind, Alex. Thank you guys for being here. We have so much more to talk about. Nancy, well, you know, she was messaging her friend about that shower they were planning or whatever it was. And, you know, that stopped abruptly on Saturday, I believe it was. But regardless, we're going to keep talking about it. She was a cleaning lady. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if she was his or theirs, but I do remember that she knew them prior to knew Suzanne, some things like that. I need to refresh my memory. Food for thought. If Barry is innocent, he would make public statements saying he's devastated and wants justice for whoever did this. Otherwise, he's shit in his pants. I agree. I mean, he made the statement, but it didn't sound like that. You know, it wasn't. His statement was, "We are very sad. Can't believe everybody's blaming me already." I can't get over him, like on that body cam. You found it? Is it a wreck? Like, Barry, come on, bro. You just, ugh. I'm going to too, Nancy. I can't wait to see them all. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Yes, I want to see that Nate, but I have to, as soon as I jump off here, I have to go talk to my mom and I have to run to the grocery store for all of us. And then when I get back, I would love to do that. Mountain lions are mad he dragged them into this. Is Pointer Lover okay? I love my Pointer Lover. I love all you guys and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And we're going to keep talking about this. I'm not gonna shut up about it. I wasn't gonna stop talking about it anyways. It's been a while, but you know, especially now, and I cannot wait to see somebody pay for what happened to her, because her children were robbed of a mother. They were robbed of a grandmother for their kids. She was robbed of a happy life. I mean, it's just so, I don't know, ridiculous. I mean, her own father passed away while waiting to see if she had been found. That's one of the saddest parts of this. Her father was very vocal in the beginning, and he lost a battle to cancer as well, I believe, and passed away, you know, not too long after she went missing. She still cleans vacation properties in Colorado. Okay, interesting. Thank you, Bella Italia. What's for dinner? I don't know, but I have to go get milk, taquitos, cigarettes, soda, and rolls for my mom. So those are the 5 top things. I need some milk for it because I have cotton candy Oreos and they're almost gone, but I really need milk for them before they run out. Thank you guys for being here. I love and appreciate you. If you missed last night on Amber's, definitely go back and watch that. We will do the fundraiser soon. We are waiting on the pretext calls for Gannon, you know, for Letitia and Al. And Gannon turned 15 yesterday. I'm not going to stop talking about him either. And I'm going to go through the file a little more, see if there's anything else we can talk about while waiting for the phone calls. But okay, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. Love and appreciate you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.